Good day. We are going to talk about the contingency planning process and contingency plan today. This is in relation to it's an extension of business plan or other marketing plan. We were talking about a contingency plan or rather plan B or substitute plan or whatever you may call it. But the professional proper word for this is the contingency plan, where it's a plan, it's a secondary plan, it's an additional plan to the business plan. If you plan your business, why do you want to have an additional plan? The simple reason is the business plan or the marketing plan is for the future. Now future could be very volatile, future could be vulnerable, the future could be uncertain. So therefore we have to we can't think that whatever the plan that we make, however much we are capable of doing the planning, might not work in the future. So therefore we have to have an additional plan, a substitute plan, where we call it as a contingency plan. The contingency plan, of course, is a plan which will get executed if your normal plan, if your main plan is not going to work, if it's failing, or if you don't wait until it fails to 100% and then start a new one. No, what you have to do is you have to have an additional plan or other contingency plan in place. Whereas the business plan, if you with the time goes in the future, if you feel that it is not properly working, it's not workable, it's failing by itself, so then you shift it to the secondary plan. Normally that is how it is, right? So now what we have to understand here is how do you do the contingency plan. I can give you 6 points where you can concentrate on to make a proper contingency plan. Number 1, identifying critical assumptions of the future, which means that you have to assume some things might happen. I mean, in that sense, you can assume 101 things which is not feasible, which is not relevant, which is not professional for you to think of. I mean, those should be critical assumptions. Those should be very, very relevant to you, very, very relevant to your business, your product, or your market, your segment, whatever. Or it has a direct link with your business plan. Those are the assumptions that you can have. Those are what you call the critical assumptions, which means that you are not going to assume, you are not going to work on each and every assumption that you may come across. Number 2, the probability of each assumption. Now see, when you assume something for your future, everything, you can't say that this will happen. If it is certain, then it's not an assumption. If it is not certain, then you have assumed wrong, which means that whatever the assumption cannot happen. If you think that it is going to happen 100%, then it's not an assumption. If you feel that it is going to happen 0%, or rather it won't happen at all, then once again it's not an assumption. It's not a proper assumption. So therefore everything has to be between 100 and 0. 99% sure it might happen, or maybe 1% it might happen. So that is what you call the probability, right? With your experience, with your exposure to the market, with your exposure to the your products and markets and so on, you can always come to a fair probability of the occurrence of whatever that you assume might happen. Say for an example, you think, right, there may be some kind of a natural disaster might come in, right? Natural disaster in the sense, say for an example, if you are living in a landslide prone area, a landslide might happen where it might get affected to your business. So when if the rainy season is coming in or whatever, so then you can assume there may be heavy rains, there may be a landslide, and that might the resultant effect will be trickle down onto your business. So you can give a kind of a probability, a percentage of occurring. You can't say there will be a landslide and it is 100% sure, or else you cannot say that no, there won't be any landslide may happen. No, that is not an assumption, right? So then the third point, ranking the assumptions. Now we'll go to some. Now first we have assumed some critical things into the future. Then we have done the probability. We have assigned some percentage for each and every assumption. Say you have assumed 7 things to happen in the future. In the process of this business plan, in the process of this contingency plan, the time within that time period, you assume that 9 things or rather 7 things might happen. So you have given different probabilities for each and every assumption. Now, as per the probability, you can rank what is most likely to happen. Say 90% sure, one may be 10% sure. So 90% is the most probable occurrence in the future. So impact of that will happen, or the impact of that will happen to the certainty of 90%. The last ranking one, we say it is 10% probability. So therefore, it may happen with a 10% certainty. So with these 7 assumptions, 7 occurrences to happen as you have assumed, you can rank it number 1, number 2, number 3, likewise goes up to 7. But mind you, all of a sudden something might happen out of the blues which you have never ever predicted, right? So that is the thing. So you can relate it to this particular thing, yet it might be clean, completely out of what you have predicted for. Say like when the COVID-19 outbreak, nobody in the world has ever expected this to happen. So there were no assumptions of that. Say Asian tsunami, nobody has ever predicted such a devastating tsunami. So therefore, once again you cannot say that since you have done your business plan, since you have done your contingency plan, everything is perfect and everything will happen as per you have planned. No, that is not the case. Here you are trying to get accustomed to whatever happens in the future. Now, the next thing is monitoring the action plan. This is number 4, monitoring the action plan. Now this is something to do with your business plan. When you do your business plan, you have certain milestones, certain goals to be achieved every month, every year, whatever. So you have to have a monitoring process so that you understand whether your business plan is properly working or not. If not, the option is you have to look for the contingency plan. I mean, I'm not saying, say for an example, if you have made a target of 100,000 units to be sold each and every month, right? So you have done 10 months in and around 100,000 units, and the 11th month, if it is 95,000, you just don't rush into the contingency plan. The thing is that you monitor that. You see that 1 month has gone below the plan, below your business plan. If it is going recurrently, if it is a normal occurrence, then you see that your business plan, there's some flaw in your business plan. So therefore you have to go for the contingency plan. You have to change the gears, change over your strategy towards the contingency planning. For that, you have to have the monitoring structure and monitoring the action plan of the business plan. You have to monitor the business plan in simple terms. Now, the fifth one, triggers to activate contingency plan. Now, triggering points. This is now when you do a business plan. I'll take the previous example. Say you have planned to get to do 100,000 units per month, sale of 100,000 units per month. So now, in the contingency plan, you plan and say that if 3 months going below 100,000, say going below 80,000, then you have to transfer your plan to contingency plan. That's the triggering point, which means you are giving a specific target to say that you have to transform yourself into the contingency plan where your business plan is not working. As I said, 10 months you have done 100,000 unit sales. The 11th month it is 95,000. You don't have to be panic on that, because those things might happen. Say you have done 6 months just more than 100,000. 7th month it is 70,000. 8th month it is 65,000. 9th month it is once again 68,000. So it is going way below 100,000. How much below? You have assigned a proper digit, proper amount, proper quantum, that is say 80,000. If it is going below 80,000 continuously for 3 months, then you transform yourself into the contingency planning process, and you slowly keep the business plan out and bring the contingency plan, and according to the contingency plan you just follow and then take action as per that. So therefore, after that the business plan is being set aside. Your contingency plan is the working plan for you from there onwards. So for that transformation, you need the triggering points. At what time you are going to change yourself into the contingency plan. Last, specifying response options. Now say what is to be done. Now you have identified the triggering point as, in the same example, 80,000 below. If it goes below 80,000 continuously for 3 months. So now that has happened. 3 months it's been on around 70,000. So it is way below the triggering point. Now then you have to have a specific response, or rather action plan, to do what? Say you can't just fire all the marketing guys. No, you can't say no, we have to reduce the price, you have to offer discounts. There may be several actions that you can take, but in the contingency plan you have to show if this is going below the peripheries of the triggering points, this is what we are trying to do. These are the actions that we are going to think of, right? You can't take arbitrary actions after that, where that is also being pre-planned. Basically, the contingency plan is also pre-planned. Contingency plan is also a business plan. As I said, it's a secondary plan. It's a substitute plan. So you have to very specifically mention if this is going below the triggering points. Then what you are going to do? What is your action? What is your action plan? Whether you are offering discounts, whether you are giving more credit period, whether you are slashing the prices, whether you are reducing your marketing staff, or whether you are going to have a promotion, whether you start advertising more or advertising less for that matter, that all has to be given in clear black and white form. So that is the thing. So now, as you may understand, contingency plan is another plan kept aside if the business plan does not work. Does not work means you have to have the triggering point to see whether it does not work. It is a proven thing then for you to shift it to another plan, right? You can't say that I made the business plan, so emotionally I am attached to that, I have spent a lot of time, so therefore we have to somehow or other get this thing done. No, that is not the way. That you can't be emotional when you are doing business. You can't be sensitive towards these sentimental things if you are a professional, right? So therefore these are the things that you have to think of when you are going to continue with a contingency plan. Contingency plan is essentially needed to be included with the business plan. Thank you very much.